You are mine.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. You know, in the world we're living in now, the way things move so fast, the media is just at your fingertips. News, so much news you can't even keep up with it. Things get harder and harder, and I don't know about you, but I find myself at times not enjoying my life as much as I feel like I would like to. So I have those days when I get up, it's 100 degrees out, or snowing or raining, sleeting, whatever it may be, and I got to go out, tend to my animals, take care of the yard, whatever it may be. There's days that I have trouble doing that without thinking, what is all this for? Nothing's happened, nothing seems to be happening, you know. And then I have to think back of what's really going on in the world and remind myself I'm doing all this for a reason, and it's, you know, it's coming. So it's real hard for us, even in the preparedness world, it seems like, to stay on that motivational track of just wanting to do things. You know, and part of making these videos, and the whole reason I started making videos on here, is just to hopefully help wake a few more people up. And even though I know at times it seems hopeless, and it seems like there's no help reaching people at this point, if they're not already awake to everything going on, there's no hope. And I know I'm guilty of it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. But I feel like we need to remind ourselves that as bad as we have it, and as bad as the lag we have on having the days that we don't so much want to prepare, we just want to enjoy our lives and have a great weekend. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with where it's like, what'd you do this weekend? And they, you know, went and seen a movie and went out and did this and that and had fun and no worries the whole weekend. Great weekend, you know. And then I think about my weekends on trying to get the yard taken care of and butchering chickens and whatever it may be going on in my life at the time. But I have to wonder how much harder it's going to be for those people when the balloon goes up, so to speak. And I think a lot of us, myself included, just want to give up on those people in general, like there's no hope. But I honestly feel like a lot of the masses out there are awakening to everything going on in the world. It's just getting so crazy. I mean, it would take a blind man not to see what's going on, right? And even though they may not be aware of everything going on in the world, I have to think back of when I first started having a preparedness mindset. And even before I began prepping food and things like that, I was real into watching conspiracy videos and stuff. And a lot of these conspiracy videos and things and people I listened to, you know, 15 plus years ago when I first started getting into all this, it was exciting and fun. And it's kind of like watching like a horror movie or a comedy movie and getting caught up in it, you know, and it's new and exciting. And then, you know, flash forward 15, 20 years later, and it's not quite so glamorous because you find yourself at a point where you've got all this stuff stacking up around you. You've learned everything you think you can possibly learn, but, you know, there's still more. And it's just kind of discouraging. But I honestly think we need to be trying to wake people up as much as we possibly can. But it's something you have to ease people into. And like I said, more people are becoming aware of what's going on just because it's so crazy out there. And so they start to question the narrative a little bit. And that's where we come in. You don't want to just bombard people, and a lot of times I'm guilty in these videos of maybe not giving quite enough information about what I'm talking about, simply because, you know, I've absorbed so much knowledge about, you know, everything going on in the world, everything that's been planned for years and decades. And I forget that maybe not everybody's aware of everything going on. So when you approach somebody new that's maybe thinking, hey, there's something crazy going on here, but yet they really don't know, they're not really prepared. You know, I've worked with people and just, you know, you have to subtly throw things in there and get them start thinking, you know, using the old brain. And then that's when the preparedness and things kick in for them. You can't do it for them, you know. You can't just convince somebody overnight that, well, this is the NWO and they're taking over, and you know what else? They want to take our guns, and you can't bombard people with all of that knowledge, because the more you are pushy with it and too much at once, the more they're just going to stray away and go off in the same distance they were headed. So you have to ease people into things. There's been several people I've worked with and things where I'm like, yeah, I've got quite a bit of food put back. Man, have you noticed how expensive everything's getting? And man, would be horrible if something happened where you couldn't get to the store, or if everything jumped up twice as much overnight. Look how much things have gone up the last few years. Just make small talk about it. Don't bombard them with it. Or you might mention like, hey, did you hear about the Maui fires? Oh, that there's a lot of crazy things going on with that, and then just throw something out there. It's kind of like fishing. You have to fish for it. You have to get them interested in things, and get them to start using the old brain and start questioning the narrative and things going on around them. And then the next thing you know, they'll fall right into line. They'll fall right into place on being prepared, putting things back, because at that point, they see how bad it is. And it's very important at this point we are in the world to stay that gray man, to not give out too much information. And even on here, even though this is a preparedness channel, I'm not showing everything I'm doing here. I show you some highlights of things I'm doing to get you to start thinking, and maybe give you some ideas of things you should do. But I'm not showing all my cards. That's the worst thing you could do. You want to make people aware and try to awaken people, but you don't want to show all your cards. You don't want to just spill everything that you have, everything you're doing, because if things went up tomorrow, well, you're pretty much a target at that point for the things that you have and the things that they need. But just the idea of being able to slowly integrate people into that mindset. So I would encourage everybody out there to talk to people. You don't got to bombard them with all the little details. Just throw a little thing out here and there. And there's people I work with, I give, and that's the way I play it. You hear this conspiracy about this or this, and then if they're interested, they're going to look into that, and they're going to realize, hey, that's not so much a conspiracy. That's not a conspiracy at all. A lot of the conspiracies that I first started learning about over a decade ago are no longer conspiracies. They're reality. So I would just really let people know what's going on in as small of fragments as you possibly can, and get them to run with it the best they know how. So keep talking to people, keep encouraging people, and you too at the same time will be encouraged. Even people in the preparedness world, the more you encourage them and show them all the things you're doing, or maybe things that they should work on, then the more we can motivate everybody. All of us can be motivated. And it's the same thing with these videos. If you guys like what I'm saying here and you can relate to where I'm coming from, give me a thumbs up. Share it out to somebody that possibly don't know what everything going on in the world, and maybe together we can reach that person. Because the more people we get on our side, the more people that are aware and awake when all of this starts taking effect, the easier it's going to be on us, really. Because there's going to be a vast amount of people, there's going to be a ton of people that are going to be lost, and they're going to be starving, and they're going to be hurting, and they don't know what else to do other than fight for what they need. And I, for one, would like to fight with as little people as possible when it comes to that point. So, yeah, just some words of encouragement. Stay motivated. Keep other people in this world motivated, whether that be in the preparedness world or somebody completely brand new to it. Give them a few facts. Let them run with it. God bless y'all, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.